Good day, my regular viewers. I've come once again to discuss an important topic under the structural aspect of English language, which is active-passive voice. Let us look at the keywords featuring in that particular topic, where we have active, we have passive, and we have voice. Let us look at active from the point of view of being functional and performing, and we look at passive from the perspective of non-functional dormant. Now, voice in grammar is the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence does an action or has an action done to it. Now, let us start with active voice. A sentence is in the active voice when that particular or if that particular subject performs or performed an action. For example, Peter killed a big snake. Peter killed a big snake. Peter there is the subject, is the doer and the performer of that particular action of killing. Now let us look at active voice from the angle of a normal form for ordinary use in English language, where we have the structure SVO. S there stands for the subject, V there stands for the verb, and O there stands for the object. Now let us look at the subject. What is a subject? The subject of a given sentence. The subject of a given sentence is either the doer or the performer of an action. Peter killed a goat. Peter there is the subject because he's the doer and the performer of the action of killing. Now, verb. Elementarily, a verb is either a doing or an action word. For the purpose of this particular topic, let us look at verbs from two angles, transitive and intransitive. A transitive verb requires an object, while an intransitive verb does not necessarily require an object. For example, Michael kicked the ball. Michael kicked the ball. Kicked there, Michael there is the subject, kicked there is the verb, and the ball is an object. Kick there is a transitive verb because the action of kicking that particular ball started from the subject, which is Michael, and ended with the ball, which is an object. It means a transitive verb requires or calls for an object, while intransitive verb, as I have said earlier, does not necessarily require an object. For example, I laughed. I laughed there, you can stop. There is no object, there is nil. So I there is the subject, laugh there is the verb. So the action of laughter started from the subject and ended there. But if you want to introduce an object, you can make use of preposition like at. I laughed at you. I there is the subject, laugh there is the verb. Why at there is a preposition, why you there is an object. Now let us look at an object. An object can either be a noun or a pronoun under the predicate. What do I mean by the predicate? A predicate is a group of words after the subject might have been removed. Let us use this as an example. I gave the book to Summer. I gave the book to Summer. I there is the subject, while gave the book to Summer is the predicate. So a predicate is a group of words after the subject might have been removed. Now let us analyze that particular sentence. I gave the book to Summer. Now I there is the subject, gave there is the verb. Book there is a noun, is an object, so it is an object, is a noun, while Summer also is a noun, is an object. Now we can now substitute by using pronoun. I gave it to him. It there is a pronoun, is an object, while him there also is an object. Now let me give some other examples of active voice types of sentences. 1. The teacher flogged the students. 2. Evangel Gabriel preached a good sermon last Sunday. 3. I ate a mountain of pounded yam. 4. The woman cleans the house always. And 5. Michael wrote a letter yesterday. Now let us go for passive voice. A sentence is in the passive voice when the subject of that particular sentence is acted upon, that is, suffers that particular action. So now let us look at this example. This is in the active voice. Peter killed a big snake. Now we now have it as a big snake was killed by Peter. Peter that is being functioning as the subject now maybe is now in the position of the object, while the object is now in the position of the subject. Now let us look at we have some rules guiding changing from active into or to passive. The first one here is that in changing from active to passive, the use of by is necessary. For example, in active, this is an example of an active voice. Tom killed a snake, that is in the active form. To change it to passive, now we have the snake was killed by, that by should be used by Tom. Then 2, we have another one, which is the swapping of the subject with the object. Now the subject will occupy the position of the object, while the object will occupy the position of the subject. Now let us look at this example. Aminat opened the door. Aminat opened the door. That is in the active voice. Then we want to change this to passive. Now we have the door was opened by Aminat. Aminat that has been occupying the position of the subject is now under that particular object, while the object now is in the position of the subject. Now another one, auxiliary verb are repeated. You don't change the auxiliary verb. For example, here we have I can do the work. Can there is an auxiliary verb. To passive now, the work can be done by me. So that particular auxiliary verb is retained. Now let us go to tenses. Under tenses, under this simple present tense, here where you have the is, where you have the are, then plus the past participle. Now look at this particular one where we have Tina cleans the room every day. Tina cleans there is an example of simple present tense. Then now to passive voice, the room is cleaned by Tina always. Now example here, we read our books always. Then we have read there, which is an example of simple present tense. Now to passive voice, our books are read by us always. Then under the present continuous tense, where we have the is, am, and the are plus ing form of verbs. Here we have I am writing my notes. I'm writing this in the present continuous tense. My note is being written by me. Francis is reading his book. Is reading this in the present continuous tense. Now to active voice, we have his book is being read by Francis. Being there is B-E-I-N-G. Then we have another example here. We are eating mangoes. So our mangoes are being eaten, past participle, by us. Then under the present perfect tense, where we make use of either has or have, then plus past participle plus being, B-E-E-N, plus past participle. We have examples here. Precious has washed the plate. Has washed. Can you see that? Then changing that to passive voice, the plates have been washed by Precious. Have there, have been washed. Being there is B-E-E-N. Now another example here, they have eaten their fruits. Have eaten there on the line. Their fruits have been eaten by them. That eaten is E-A-T-A-N. While the being there is B-E-E-N. Now let us go to past continuous tense. where we have the was, where use with ing form, then plus past participle. Examples here: we are eating our notes. We are writing our notes when she came in. Here we have our notes were being, that B-E-I-N-G, written by us when she came in. Then another example here: Mr. Michael was changing his tire when I saw him. Now was changing on the line. The tire was being changed by Mr. Michael when I saw him. Then past perfect tense, where we have the use of had. Then you had the being, B-E-E-N, plus past participle. Example here: Peace had washed the plates. Had washed on the line. The plates had been, B-E-E-N, washed by Peace. Then we have we have some other examples of active and passive voice type of sentences. Here we have both active changed to passive. Then number one, let us start. We have almost 20 here. The baby tapped the gas. The gas was tapped by the baby. Paul's services is car monthly. Paul's car is service monthly. Franklin called the doctor yesterday. The doctor was called by Franklin yesterday. Dog loves bone. Bones are loved by dogs. I broke the bottle. The bottle was broken by me. Musa is singing the hymn. The hymn is being sung by Musa. She has told Franca. Franca has been told by Lovett. I have eaten the food. The food has been eaten by me. He was eating the food when I entered. The food was being eaten by him when I entered. Hannah will have boiled the eggs. The eggs will have been boiled by Anna. The doctor deceived the young girl. The young girl was deceived by the doctor. Patrick has asked the lady to come. Then the lady has been asked to come by Patrick. Then Steve killed a snake in the evening. A snake was killed by Steve in the evening. Ada was cleaning the furniture. The furniture was being cleaned by Ada. Suzanne does the work. The work is done by Suzanne. He will do the work. Auxiliary verb will there. The work will be done by him. The auxiliary verb is retained. I can solve the problem. The problem can be solved by me. The auxiliary verb retained. Then the soldiers defend the city. The city is defended by the soldiers. His fathers built the house. His father built the house. The house was built by his father. Our teacher will punish us. We will be punished by our teacher. So far so good. We have been able to discuss an important topic under the structural aspect of English language, which is active passive voice. Another time I come your way, I will come with another important topic. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye.